Was there a song or particular that inspired you?
There really wasn't a song that inspired me. I mean, there's so much stuff there, you know, there's so much great stuff, and it really does, it helps to kind of put it into different kind of categories or different kind of vials, and then you can just enter into them and swim in them completely. But Blonde on Blonde will always be one of the, you know, the best records ever, and continue to inspire me. And yeah, we have one Blonde on Blonde fan in the house.
I'd like to follow up with that a little bit. I mean, I've done some reading. It's a great movie to read and write and think about, and there's already some great articles out there. I encourage you to track them down. But I mean, I realize you went deep into the research. I mean, like using bootleg versions and alternate takes and live versions, and it all comes through. This is one of the most terrific soundtracks and sound design that I can think of in movies I've seen recently. I've seen a lot recently. One quick question: when did you choose to deviate from the Dylan stuff to use cover versions? I mean, it's only a few times, but I'm just curious what influenced your decisions on those.
Well, the very first decisions came from songs, and again, almost all the songs that you hear in the film were decided also in the writing stage of the film, because they also informed the way the stories would be told, and yeah, they're really, everything is built from the music.
That's what that song means. I had moments like that.
But anytime a character would be singing a song, I knew that it would need to be a cover version, a new version of that song. And so that's really where we started, was with those versions. And what we did in this film, which is what I did with Randy Poster, the music supervisor, as well in Velvet Goldmine, and it was so exciting. It was to basically kind of ask people to get creative music producers in to produce a series of songs for each of the stories, and have them be sort of suited for the styles of the stories, and have them put together bands that they could select, mixing young and older artists to kind of, you know, rejuvenate or find that sound freshly. So Lee Ronaldo from Sonic Youth put together the band that's on the soundtrack called the $1 Million Bashers, which is the music that is for the Jude story, Kate story, that, as Dylan once described it, the thin, wild Mercury sound, which is that great blues-based band with the organ and the Al Cooper organ that you associate with Blonde on Blonde or Like a Rolling Stone. And he put together artists both from the past and the present for that band. And then in addition to that, we just got bands to do covers themselves that we weren't involved in the internal, personnel on. Okay. And so, but we ended up with so many and such great stuff that the soundtrack actually is 19 additional tracks that were made for the film that didn't make it into the film by some amazing artists, like Cat Power and Willie Nelson and Roger McGuinn, and a whole range of people who unfortunately didn't make it into the soundtrack, but it's all available on the CD.
And some dates have been done by the lineup of the bands as well.
We just had a show at the Beacon Theater in New York a few days ago, and it was really, it came out so well. Those kinds of things, you never know, like how when you get all these bands together on one show, if it's gonna really take off, and it really did. It was so exciting.